The night my boyfriend confessed, he cried his eyes out. He talked about seeing the future, about making a pact with me. I asked why. He just said, "I don't remember, only that my future self will regret it, deeply regret it, Izzy. No matter what happens, you have to give me 3 chances, okay?" Deeply in love with Lucas, I readily agreed. But later, he seemed to have forgotten all about it, canoodling with his assistant. That's when I understood. Because the moment I signed the divorce papers, I heard a familiar voice. It was 19-year-old Lucas. He was crying. "Izzy, you promised, right? You promised to. Izzy, I think someone as magnanimous as you will let me and Lucas be together, right?" It was a text from Lucas's assistant, Mia. The message was accompanied by videos and photos. Passionate embraces under the Eiffel Tower, sweet nothings whispered in front of Louvre paintings, nude photos on a Maldivian beach, even pictures of them getting intimate in front of a floor-to-ceiling window. That's when it finally hit me. Lucas wasn't the Lucas I loved anymore. We'd started from nothing. I worked my tail off for his acting career, pouring all my earnings into his performances, running around for him. For 7 years, I fell asleep on the subway home, suffered stomach bleeds from too much business drinking. I'd slowly built a company. And Lucas finally became a nationally acclaimed actor, a sought-after star. He chose to achieve all those things we'd dreamed of together with his assistant. Without hesitation, I drafted the divorce papers. Just as I was about to sign, a jarring voice pierced the silence. "Izzy, no, you promised to give me 3 chances." The familiar voice shocked me, my whole body trembling. I turned, and there stood 19-year-old Lucas, his form ethereal, wearing a $30 suit I'd bought while working a part-time job. He looked the most handsome in that suit, just like my memory. I stared at him, then suddenly laughed. "Okay, 3 chances." Just then my phone rang again. "Izzy, I've told you countless times, stop bullying Mia. She's just my assistant. She's already exhausted from traveling with me everywhere. If you keep this up, our beach trip is off." I answered and put it on speakerphone. Lucas's furious voice echoed in the room. I glanced at 19-year-old Lucas, offering a gentle smile, which caused anger to flash across his face. How could he talk to you like that? How could he? 19-year-old Lucas was trembling with rage, while 27-year-old Lucas remained cold. "Izzy, you've gotten bold. You even have a dog now, huh? Get to Wind Entertainment in half an hour, or else." 19-year-old Lucas hung up, and I calmly said, "That's your first chance, Lucas." I couldn't tell if I was saying it to 19-year-old Lucas or myself. I drove to Wind Entertainment, arriving 40 minutes late. The area around the building was packed, traffic a nightmare. When I finally reached Lucas's office on the top floor, I pushed open the door and heard him yell, "Izzy, I warned you, be here in 30 minutes. And now?" I coolly interrupted, sitting on the sofa. Mia was also in the office, her head down, eyes red, clutching her wrist. My indifferent attitude seemed to enrage Lucas. He slammed his fist on the desk. "Izzy, what's your attitude? Are you still refusing to admit you're wrong?" Before I could speak, Mia said, "Lucas, it's okay, it's just a watch, it's not Izzy's fault." Mia's words only fueled Lucas's anger. He suppressed his rage, speaking softly to Mia. "What do you mean it's not her fault? She's so petty she even stole the birthday present I gave you. Don't worry, I won't take her side." Turning to me, his tone sharpened. "Izzy, I'm giving you one last chance. Return the watch to Mia." This had happened countless times. Mia had framed me so many times, and no matter how much I explained, it was no use. Lucas, who once trusted me unconditionally, now unconditionally doubted me. I didn't bother arguing. I stood, took off the worn watch from my wrist, and tossed it lightly at Mia's feet. This action caused both 19-year-old and 27-year-old Lucas to erupt. 19-year-old Lucas cried, "Izzy, please don't do this." 27-year-old Lucas's eyes were bloodshot, his anger uncontainable. "Izzy, do you think I'm a pushover?" The watch at Lucas's feet was my only watch. He'd bought it with his meager earnings after landing his first role, a small part. He'd been so happy. After that, I never wore another watch. I remembered him handing me the watch, his hand warm and sincere, his eyes red-rimmed. He seemed to feel guilty. He said softly, "Izzy, this is all I can afford now. When I make more money, I'll get you the watch you've always wanted." He did buy that watch later, but not for me. It was for Mia. I didn't say anything, turning to leave the office. "You!" 27-year-old Lucas was speechless with rage, while Mia softly consoled him. "Lucas, it's all right. Maybe that watch was important to Izzy. If so, it's really my fault. It's normal for Izzy to take it back. Don't blame her, I'm okay." Her voice was low, adding, Anyway, nobody's ever celebrated my birthday. Having Lucas with me is enough. I don't need the present. Mia's words calmed Lucas, who gave me a grudgingly polite look. Izzy, give Mia back her watch, and I'll get you a better one later. No need. I don't want the one on the floor or any others you buy, I said coldly, striding out of the office. But 19-year-old Lucas rushed forward, grabbing my arm. Izzy, no, let's get the watch back. It's the one I gave you. His eyes were red, but his tone was tentative, as if afraid I'd get angry. Looking at his youthful face, my heart softened. Okay, but that's your second chance. Are you sure you want to use it? 19-year-old Lucas nodded without hesitation. I ruffled his hair and turned back to the office. When I reopened the door, I saw something that sent 19-year-old Lucas into a rage. Mia was in Lucas's arms, whispering something in his ear. They quickly separated when I entered. Izzy, when did you become so rude? Don't you know you're supposed to knock before entering someone's office? I glanced at him, walked to them, and bent down, but Mia subtly stepped on the watch strap. I straightened up. Mia looked down, eyes cast. Izzy, I really didn't mean anything by it. Seeing Mia act sad again, Lucas couldn't help himself. Izzy, look at you. What kind of state are you in? Mia is so understanding, and you keep making things difficult for her. Apologize to her. Ignoring Lucas, I stared into Mia's eyes, struggling to contain my anger. Excuse me. Mia pretended not to hear. Izzy, I really didn't mean anything. Lucas grabbed my chin. Apologize to Mia. I looked at the furious Lucas, then at 19-year-old Lucas. He was stunned, tears streaming down his face. My heart ached for him, my anger fading. I said softly, I'm sorry. Oh, Izzy, you don't have to. Mia cautiously stepped back, but I saw a smirk on her lips. Ignoring Lucas, I picked up the ruined watch and left the office. On the way out, 19-year-old Lucas sobbed, apologizing repeatedly. I patted his head. It's okay, Lucas. You didn't do anything wrong. Looking at his face, I softly asked, Do you know what tomorrow is? Lucas looked at me, then at the car's clock. His face flushed, and he seemed excited. It's the day I proposed to you. Yes, 6 years ago, on our first anniversary, we'd made a pact. No matter how much money we had, he would propose to me 6 years later on Valentine's Day on the beach. That's my boy. So will you come with me tomorrow? 19-year-old Lucas's eyes shone. He stared into my eyes for a long time. Then, as if making a decision, he shared a secret. Izzy, do you know why I can see the future? The night I confessed, I wished on a shooting star to see the future. But I won't remember it until midnight tomorrow. 19-year-old Lucas shed another tear. So tomorrow night he will regret it. However, neither of us anticipated that 27-year-old Lucas would be on the beach. He wasn't there to keep our date, though. Izzy, you were spying on me, following me here. Good, you're good. The beach, where we were supposed to have our proposal, was adorned with roses and fireworks. In the center of it all stood 27-year-old Lucas, holding Mia's hand tightly, even when he saw me. 3 chances are up, Lucas. I whispered, 19-year-old Lucas despairingly shaking my arm. Izzy, don't, maybe he did this for you. Let's go see, okay? His voice was almost a plea. 27-year-old Lucas's voice was icy. Izzy, get over here. I turned gently to 19-year-old Lucas, then walked toward them. Izzy, what do you want? You stole Mia's watch, I didn't care, now you want to ruin my fireworks display to make up for it? As I approached, Lucas started shouting. No, I'm here to watch the fireworks. If you don't mind, give me 2 chairs. I shrugged indifferently. Lucas seemed taken aback by my reaction. I ignored him, taking the weeping 19-year-old Lucas to sit down. I softly comforted him, but his tears wouldn't stop. Seeing my lack of reaction, 27-year-old Lucas relaxed, cuddling with Mia. Unfazed, I held 19-year-old Lucas's cold hand. Time passed, approaching midnight. As Valentine's Day ended, the fireworks began. Under the fireworks, I pulled out a ring, knelt, and said softly to 19-year-old Lucas, Lucas, will you marry me? He covered his mouth, tears in his eyes. You still want to marry me? Of course. I'll always love you. I looked sincerely into his eyes. His brilliance was my eternal love. After a long moment, he nodded vigorously, extending his hand. Izzy, I do. I smiled, my heart full of joy, gently taking his hand. Just as I was about to put the ring on him, the clock struck midnight. 19-year-old Lucas dissolved into stardust before my eyes. My tears flowed freely. Goodbye, my beloved Lucas. A sharp female voice echoed behind me. Lucas, Izzy looks so pitiful all alone, wondering who to propose to. I'm much luckier. I have Lucas. I turned to see Mia and Lucas standing behind me, Mia sneering. Lucas was in tears. I glanced at them, turning to leave. 19-year-old Lucas was gone forever, and I had no reason to tangle with them anymore. But I hadn't taken 2 steps when Lucas called out. Izzy, don't go. Perhaps that unique tone still held some sway over me. I wanted to see what he had to say. Seeing me stop, Lucas's face lit up. Izzy, I'm sorry, I forgot. I'll have them prepare everything again, okay? Izzy, I was wrong. Forgive me. His words struck me as ridiculous. He hadn't even let go of Mia's hand while apologizing. Perhaps noticing my gaze, he realized his mistake and quickly released her. He tried to catch up, but Mia pulled him back, whispering something that stopped him. I didn't care what Lucas did or said. The moment 19-year-old Lucas vanished, he and I were finished. Back home, I tossed and turned, unable to sleep. Honestly, the end of this relationship felt hollow, no matter how detached I tried to be. After much thought, I realized the divorce papers were incomplete. I got up and signed them, planning to contact a lawyer tomorrow. I'd leave the rest to the lawyer. Lucas had more money. I didn't need any of his assets, so the divorce would be easy. Sitting down, I felt deflated. On my desk was a photo of Lucas and me. When I was exhausted, I used to stare at it. In the picture, Lucas and I were clean and neat, wearing nothing expensive or flashy. But it was beautiful. Now we had money, could do things we never dreamed of, yet our relationship was shattered. This mansion was exactly how Lucas had always imagined it. A warm orange bedroom, a spacious and simple living room. Every detail perfectly placed. But after buying it, Lucas rarely came home. Work was busy, I told myself. He had to spend his free time with Mia. I always thought he was just too busy, and that I should understand. Now it was clear he had plenty of time for life, just not with me. Thinking of the years of tireless work and lack of rest, I suddenly felt invigorated. Yeah, why am I sitting here doing nothing? I have money. I should travel. I booked a flight leaving in 2 hours. I packed quickly, got everything arranged, and left within half an hour. Before leaving, I changed the mansion's password. Lucas had plenty of places to stay. He didn't need this one. He showed up later, stumbling, clearly drunk. He punched in the code repeatedly. Each time, he got the wrong password message. Did I get it wrong? I tried everything. Dizzy, Lucas started banging on the door. Izzy, open up, I'm home. Izzy, I know you're here. Izzy, I know I was wrong, just open the door. Izzy, what more do you want from me? I apologized. The harder he banged, the more sober he got. Finally tired, he checked his phone, quickly finding our chat with the password. But when he entered the correct code, he sobered up completely. The password was still wrong. He realized I had changed it. Panicked, Lucas called me. The number you have dialed is currently unavailable. Shouting and calling didn't work. He smashed the window and climbed in. Izzy, don't push it. He stormed upstairs, but I was gone. His eyes fell on the signed divorce papers. He stumbled back, feeling drained. He had never thought I would actually leave, no matter what he did. Seeing those papers, he panicked. He frantically called me. But in the time he spent fumbling with the password, I was already almost on the plane. He called for over 10 minutes before realizing it was useless. He called his friends, using every connection, finally getting news at dawn. Lucas, I found it. Izzy bought a ticket to Moscow and left last night. You couldn't reach her because she's on the plane. Lucas, haggard from a sleepless night, bought the next flight to Moscow. But due to weather, the flight was delayed. He boarded in the afternoon. He called me, but I blocked him the moment I saw it. I didn't want him to ruin my trip. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect to encounter Mia first. I'd arrived at a ski resort in Moscow. After skiing down a slope, a group of people rushed out and hit me on the head with a stick. I woke up bound, in a dilapidated cabin. A familiar face met my eyes. Mia, Lucas's assistant. Her usually flawless skin was swollen, with a clear handprint. Seeing me awake, she smiled sinisterly. Hee Izzy. Fancy meeting you here. Her twisted expression made me uneasy. A bad feeling crept in. I discreetly checked my chest cam. Thankfully, the camera, used to record my trip, was still on. Mia hadn't noticed. I paused. Mia, where are we? I kept my voice calm, afraid of angering her. Ha ha ha, Izzy, you're smart, but you can't figure it out. I knew, but calming Mia was crucial. Before I could speak, one of her accomplices said in broken English. Boss, hurry up. Just kill her. The ski resort. Sooner or later someone will find out. Accident bad. This seemed to enrage Mia. Shut up. I paid you a lot of money and the ski resort is so big. Who'd notice one missing person? She yelled, slapping my face, then grabbed my hair. Izzy, you bitch, do you know how hard I worked to get Lucas? I groveled, washed his feet, massaged him. I was his dog. I even hand-washed his underwear. For so many years, I was a slave. And just because of your little kneeling act, I got dumped. But it's okay. Once you're dead, like in a ski resort accident, Lucas's money, status, body, they'll still be mine. But don't think you'll die so easily. Today, you'll learn what torture is. Her face was twisted, shaking uncontrollably. She was insane. Mia, calm down. I'm done with Lucas. Maybe with some time, you can win him back. I tried to reason with her. Also, I'm on vacation. If I die in an accident, the police will investigate. You'll get caught, right? Mia paused, thinking, but anger consumed her again. You're lying. It'll be an accident. What does it have to do with me? She was beyond reason. She pulled out a knife. Let's see where to start. How about this face? Cold steel grazed my cheek. My heart pounded, threatening to leap from my chest. But the knife didn't land on my face. Let's start elsewhere. I want to see how twisted your face gets. The knife plunged into my bound left arm. The pain felt like my soul was tearing. I gritted my teeth, hiding my agony. I knew if I showed pain, Mia would only get more excited. How is it? Good. Ha ha ha. Learn how to be a dog. Maybe I'll feel better and give you a quick death. I bit my lip. Seeing my silence, Mia pulled the knife out and stabbed my left arm again. The pain made me cry out. That's right, that's it. Pain is good. In the frigid north, I felt my blood burn hot, then turn icy cold. I held on, clinging to every second, increasing my chances of rescue. Each stab pierced my arm. I lost all feeling. My consciousness blurred. Thinking of the pain to come, despair set in. Then Mia threw the knife away. This is boring. Just killing her makes more sense. Those words sent my heart racing. Mia had given up on torture. Her men relaxed. Do it, she ordered, clapping and wiping her hands. The men approached, pulling out something. I closed my eyes, bracing for death. But then I heard the shattering of glass. A violent crash and bright light erupted. My ears rang. I opened my eyes to see Lucas and armed police storming in, subduing Mia's men. Lucas rushed to my side, crying. But looking at my mangled arm, only one thought remained. Lucas, I don't just not love you anymore. I hate you. I woke up in a hospital bed. A doctor examined me. Your left arm is severely injured, but otherwise you're fine. Even if it heals, it'll likely be weak. He left after his report. Lucas rushed in. Izzy, how are you? I'm sorry. Tears streamed down his face. Once, his apologies would have broken my heart. Now, they just disgusted me. Get out. I never want to see you again, I said coldly, turning away. Izzy, don't. I remember everything. It's all my fault. I'll make it up to you. Izzy, look at me. Anything you want, just don't leave me. He apologized and confessed endlessly. I just sneered. Lucas, do you remember what 19-year-old you said to me? He froze. If you don't, let me remind you. Your last words before vanishing at 19. Izzy, if I'd known the ending, I wouldn't have met you. I should have left you sooner. He hung his head, tears falling. Izzy, give me another chance. After a long silence, he spoke again. I found it laughable. I laughed hysterically. Lucas, do you know what I told myself when I heard that? He stared at me, hopeful. What? I looked at his face, unchanged from the past, but now meticulously made up. I said I never regret meeting you. And I'm willing to give you one last chance. I said calmly. He trembled, his eyes shining with excitement. But before he could speak, I continued. But you already used that chance. You didn't even let go of Mia's hand when apologizing. I was home for 2 hours before leaving. Where were you? I pressed the call button. When the nurse arrived, I said coldly, please have this man leave my room. I don't want to see him again. And please give this video to the police. Izzy, don't. You need someone to take care of you. You need me. He was desperate. But I was firm. After you became famous, you weren't there when I had a stomach bleed from business drinking. You weren't there when I bought this mansion. You weren't even there when I was about to propose to you. Lucas, don't forget, my injury is also thanks to you. Get out. Security removed him at my insistence. Lucas visited a few more times, but I didn't see him. The footage from my camera was irrefutable evidence. Mia was sentenced to death. A month later, I returned home. Thankfully, the doctors were skilled, and my arm healed well. I just couldn't overexert it. When I landed, I heard of Lucas's suicide. He had killed himself after leaving the police station. The report said he was distraught after seeing the video of Mia hurting me and hearing her confession. My heart was numb, but thinking of 19-year-old Lucas, gentle and kind, still caused a pang of discomfort. Now I had money. I could enjoy life. I sold my company and began traveling the world. 3 years later, I met a man I could rely on. He was completely different from Lucas. He didn't like to look to the future. One day, I smelled a familiar scent in our bedroom. It was the first gift I'd bought for 19-year-old Lucas, an inexpensive perfume. He had never used it, only sparingly on formal occasions. I didn't see him that day. Only a voice carried on the wind. "Izzy, goodbye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." I stared out the window, whispering, "No matter what happened to Lucas later, you never did anything wrong, 19-year-old you."